because I've been telling people for years that NLP is crucial to life and crucial to your business. But now that Forbes has said it, maybe now you'll believe me.
Now, this Forbes article focused on how NLP can uplevel your business. But today we're going to talk about how it can uplevel you personally.
Have you given thought to what your life will be like after quarantine? Will it be better than it was before? It sure will, as long as you use these 5 ways NLP can uplevel your life now. It's Coach Q here, and today I am sharing my NLP coaching secrets with you. I want you to utilize these mindset shifts in your life now so that when you emerge from quarantine, your life will be better than it was when you started. I got the idea to do this video after reading a Forbes article that was published last week. Now, that article talks about the 3 ways that NLP can uplevel your business. Because I've been telling people for years that NLP is crucial to life and crucial to your business. But now that Forbes has said it, maybe now you'll believe me. But today we're not talking about necessarily how it's going to help you in your business, although these tips can be used in your business. But I want to help you utilize these mindset shifts to help you in your personal life now. As long as you implement them now, then after quarantine, you will be better than you were in the beginning. Are you ready? Get your pen and paper, because like I said, these are my coaching secrets that I use with my clients that I am sharing with you today free of charge, because that's just how lovable I am. All right. So I know the first question you're asking is, what the heck is NLP? Unless you went to Google it, like most people do, you won't know that NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. I know it's a mouthful. So I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to break it down to you in the most simplest of terms that I've come up with, okay? NLP is the action to the law of attraction. Now, I know that's corny, but you will remember it. NLP is the action to the law of attraction. So, the law of attraction says that whatever can be imagined in your mind is achievable as long as you take action on the plan to get to where you want to be. Now, I hear people describe this, and they leave off the end. They just say, as long as you can imagine and think and believe it, you can achieve it. Well, let's be honest. If that was the case, if all it took was imagination and believing in yourself, then I'd be a billionaire. The reality is you need an action plan to actually achieve it. So that's where NLP comes in. NLP takes the way you think, your neuro, and the language that you've been using to talk to yourself internally and how it's showing up in your life. That's the linguistic part. And says, here, this is your programming. Now, if it's been working for you, which most of us, some parts of our programming always work for us. It's how we've gotten to where we are now. But NLP says, here is some strategies and techniques that you can implement in your life to take your programming to the next level, okay? Now, if you don't think that this is effective, I could name so many celebrities that I know. I don't know for sure, but just based on their success in life and the terminology that they use, I think I'm right when I say that they have been coached by an NLP coach or practitioner. The first one would be Oprah. I'm pretty sure Oprah has some NLP experience under her belt, just in the language that she uses when she's speaking of her goals, when she's speaking of her viewpoints on her life. Pretty sure Oprah has some affiliation to NLP. The obvious one is Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins started out in NLP. He actually went on to develop his own version of his coaching techniques, but that's where he started. Like I said, I could go on and on, but those are the 2 that popped in my mind right off the DOMA. So right now, there's three types of people that I'm seeing navigating the quarantine. The first group of people are the ones that are just falling apart. And it's obvious they're not dealing very well. The second one, and it could be for a number of reasons. I'm not judging. I'm just saying that it's obvious that they're not doing well. Okay? Don't get mad. The second group of people are the ones who are content. They've figured out how to make this quarantine work for them. They're, just going on day-to-day life, but they're just ready for things to go back to normal. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that either. However, the third group are the ones who will emerge from quarantine on fire, like thriving better than they were in the beginning. Now, these are the people who are making decisions personally and professionally now to catapult them to success, even after quarantine. Regardless of how the economy might shift, whatever personal setbacks they have undergone, there's still something, some little caveat that they're working towards, that they're holding on to in their life that's helping them to see, oh, this is the mindset that I need to have. These are the actions that I need to take in order for me to succeed, in order for me to feel successful and achieve success even after quarantine. So the third group of people, that's who I want you to be a part of. Okay? That's what this video is designed to help you to achieve, to thrive now and even after quarantine. So, are you ready? The first mindset shift, the first technique, the first NLP tenet is cause versus effect. Now, I know you're probably thinking like, what? There are two types of individuals, two types of clients. And I prefer to work with the cause. But first, I'm going to explain the effect type of individual. The effect individual, basically, throughout their whole life, things tend to just always happen to them. They have no control. They feel helpless, powerless. And it's not just a feeling, that is literally how they view their life. And these individuals typically don't take ownership or responsibility for change. Now, the cause individual are the ones who recognize that change is inevitable. You can't control the circumstances that happen around you, but you can always control your reaction to it. This is the type of individual that I want you to become. This is the type of individual, when I get a client who is an effect, on the effect side of thinking, by the end of our coaching, program, they moved to the cause side. And it's beautiful to see the transition. When you take responsibility for change, when you take responsibility for your life, no matter what happens, you are resilient. You have the bounce back effect. That's actually the name of my coaching program, Bounce Back Queen. And I love that title because there's so many things going on around us that we just cannot control. And change is happening on a day-to-day basis. And when you accept that you're responsible for how you respond to those changes, you become more adaptable. There's more clarity on what you need to do personally for your life to function in an ever-changing society. And then you enter what I call the empowerment zone, because then you can see, it's like tunnel vision. No matter what chaos is going on out here, you're like right here. You can still see the finish. You can still see where you want to be. You may have to take some detours to get there, but it's a beautiful experience once you accept that you can be the cause of your life. Number 2, perception is projection. This is probably my favorite NLP teaching, actually. And we hear people say this throughout life. They just say it differently. Like some people just say, well, that's your truth. And it really is, because we each individually have our internal representation of life. Now, I grew up in a house with 6 kids. When we all get together and we talk about something that happened 20, 30 years ago, we each have a different experience. We each have a different memory of how things played out. Who's right? Who's wrong? It's really just our perception. So, how does perception is projection help you now? Well, I can tell you from personal experience, I literally just went out to do some essential errands and I had to go to a phone store. Now, I recognize that because of the quarantine, that we don't have the manpower at jobs that we are used to having. So when I accepted that perception is projection, then I can recognize that the way that I'm perceiving something, which I could maybe consider poor customer service or something, that's my perception. And that once I adjust that perception and then gain a gratitude for the way that people are doing their jobs and appreciation for the fact that they're experiencing difficulties the same way that I am, then it helps me to adjust my attitude, adjust the words that I use and the actions that I take so that we can come to a mutually acceptable, mutually beneficial outcome. That's how perception is projection helps you. There's so many other ways that perception is projection can help you, but when it comes to accepting change, that's how it can happen. Moving on to number 3. Language is everything. Remember, NLP stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming. Linguistic is language. Really, your self-talk. What is that? Your self-talk is the inner thoughts that you have towards your day-to-day life. Our unconscious mind only hears commands. To illustrate this, let's do an experiment. Okay, you ready? I want you to try to click subscribe. Did you try to click subscribe or did you click subscribe? This is just an example to illustrate to you that your unconscious mind only hears commands. That little word try has no bearing in what you actually do. However, there are words that we could use in our vocabulary that could actually dissuade us or put us into a negative state that are not beneficial for you. To illustrate, some people right now are saying that they are stuck at home. Well, how does being stuck make you feel? Now, how does it feel when you say that you are safe at home? Just one word helps you to experience a different feeling. And so in the state of uncertainty that we're in right now, our use of language should be very intentional. Now, I know some people feel like they just have to just keep it real. I gotta acknowledge how I'm feeling. I understand that. But ask yourself, do I really want to acknowledge how I'm feeling? Do I want to stay here in this moment? Or do I want to feel differently? And by acknowledging that you want to feel differently, you want to feel better, what use of language can you use instead to validate that you're feeling a certain way and instead you are working progressively towards feeling a different way? Language is everything. Neuro, thoughts, linguistic, language, your self-talk is your programming. And so it's imperative for you now to adjust your programming. If it's not suiting you, if it's not helping you to actually accept change, now is the time to expand your vocabulary and use intentional language to help you achieve whatever state of mind or goal that you want for yourself, both now and after quarantine. Let's move on to number 4. Emotional intelligence. Now, I don't have a lot of time to go into how NLP helps with emotional intelligence because it really has to do with another strategy that I use called timeline therapy. which helps you to uproot any negative emotions that you have in your life. But this is something that you can do for and with yourself to help you gain clarity on your emotions. Emotional intelligence is both the acknowledgement of how you're feeling, how that emotion is showing up in your life, whether it's a feeling that you have, or how you're communicating with your loved ones or your relatives or friends closest in your area. And then how can you reframe any negative thoughts, state it the way that you want to achieve it, so that you can communicate effectively and clearly your intent to achieve the desired outcome, working towards a positive, effective outcome. Last but certainly not least is staying motivated. Now, how many of you are losing your motivation, whether it's to fold laundry, to clean the toilet, to get out of bed feeling happy? Whatever you need to continue to feel motivated about is how NLP can help you discover your motivation strategy, which I like to call your M factor. Your motivation strategy is how you are motivated. We all have a different motivation strategy, and you may think you know it. But just to give you an idea of what your M factor is, which one of your five senses is most strongest when it comes to helping you feel calm? How do you know when you truly feel secure and safe? When was the last time that you were extremely motivated to achieve something? How did it feel? What did you hear? What did you see? What did you think? These are the ways NLP helps you to unleash your motivation, so you can set positive anchors and resources for yourself to achieve your goals, both now and after quarantine.
So let's recap. First, be the cause of your life. Regardless of outside circumstances, remain in control. Next, remember, perception is projection, so choose to see things positively. Remember, language is everything, so use intentional language for the desired state or outcome that you would like to achieve. Be aware of your emotions, remain in control, and express them effectively for a mutually beneficial result. Who needs motivation? Let's work together and I can help you uncover your M factor and stay motivated even after quarantine.